Hey, yo, 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 what up, what up? sorry for the little, sorry for the little gibberish there. All right, I see you up in the building, Ice. I see you up in the building, fam. Let me actually put out a link for you just in case you didn't get the link. Let me, or at least maybe if you can't find a link, let me try to put that in the chat for you. See something here. All right, there's a link for you, Ice, just in case you weren't able to get to the link uh prior. But yeah, just click on that, get you right on. Yeah, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, it should be a good one, y'all. Hope everybody been good, taking care of yourselves, despite the times that we live in, because we are living in some interesting times so far. But as I always say, it's definitely going to get better and better. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, me and Ice, we're gonna chop it up, talk about this God Amongst Men trilogy. Actually, it's an encore. It's not a trilogy. Psych. Well, it's definitely an encore because this wasn't really like a series. A series is usually like a consistent catalog of a certain theme from the same person. So I've had my take on this idea, and Ice Turner has had his take on the idea. And there you go. So that kind of makes it more of an encore instead of a series, instead of a trilogy that we're doing right now. But nevertheless, it's an encore because I know y'all want some more. So here we go. Let me get Ice Turner up in the building.
Broski,
Hey, what's good, fam? What's good?
not much, not much.
Yeah, man, here we are again, man, giving everybody what they've been waiting for.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, man. Well, hope everybody got your popcorn. You got your popcorn, your nachos, your hot dogs, and your soda. We finna chop this up.
Indeed.
Ah, man. So, any thing you've been thinking about since the last time we've talked about this, or even overall, based on the first installment that we did?
Indeed. It's actually, I put it out in the chat. Is the begin. That was just like a thought that I was pondering on, and it just just correlated with just everything else previously. It's the main thing. Only as a man understands himself. Can he arrive to an understanding of that which he is the sum total that he is called God? See, when you embody that truth and when you really secure that truth, you really don't need to explain who you are to people, but you could basically say, who do men say that I am? Who do mortal beings say that I am?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're made in his image. So you reflect the highest, the most high, your reflection in everything. So, um, I mean, there's definitely something about you that is closer to what his image is versus others. And I think that's kind of like the goal to me of what real manhood is about. It's just about reflecting his image, becoming a God amongst men. That is to me the purest aspect of manhood.
Absolutely. It's more of a civilized manhood, because when you reach that level of civilization within yourself, that means you're capable of teaching, the knowledge, the wisdom and understanding, you know, of you being the father of civilization. You're able to teach the truth, to the mortals, to the wild man, to the beast. You're able to be in control of the waters, or the states of the human, psyche.
Man, one thing I think at this point in my life, and it's just based on a lot of testimonies lately, but I've never worried about job security lately. For some reason, I feel like
Hmm.
um, I don't really worry about a job. I don't worry about like it says, as it's written, I don't worry about how I'm going to eat, how
Hmm.
I'm going to drink, how I'm going to wear my next clothes, how I sleep. Things just come my way, you
Hmm.
know, just
Naturally.
based, yeah, naturally. Yeah.
And I had a mistake earlier. I had gotten into a small, fender bender on the road because it's icy out here. Uh, my car hit a part of a sign on a turn that was basically covered. It's like on the street, whatever, like that. So it cracked, you know, uh, front front part, like rear, not rear part, but whatever.
Yeah.
It cracked that part, so it scratched up. So like, oh, okay. I wasn't even upset, and I sent a picture to one of my lady friends, and she basically knows someone that can take care of that really for less. That probably would have cost me about maybe $1,400. I'm probably gonna get that done
Mm,
for probably about 400.
mm.
you know.
That's what's up. That's that blessing right there, man. That's that. And I think, even like with what we've been speaking on, just a lot of this macking, or as I sometimes call white pill, just for the general public. This is only for a God amongst men. I believe
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely. Blessings to Brown Dude Life. Briscoe, what's going on, broski? Charlotte Swan, how you doing, beautiful?
Yeah, I've been thinking also just of a few things lately myself because you know, I think with a lot of what's going on out in this world, especially if you think about robots, artificial intelligence,
Hmm.
um, a lot of the a lot of society is trying to substitute artificial intelligence for they're basically trying to replace divinity
Hmm.
with artificial intelligence. You know,
Exactly. Well, they're always doing the replacements. They're always doing the alternatives. It's nothing like the real thing. It's like that song. It's nothing like the real thing, baby. You know.
exactly.
You know. See, that's what people, once they encounter that, they definitely want to be a part of it.
Right. And I've always known of emotional intelligence. Like I
Hmm.
learned a lot about that last year, but it made sense as to like how I knew I had emotional intelligence.
Hmm.
Excuse me, but this thing about supernatural intelligence, that's part of the divinity. I think
Absolutely.
that's what separates you from the men is that supernatural intelligence.
Absolutely. Because when you look at the supernatural intelligence, right? See, supernatural intelligence is not a feeling. It's not a thought. It's not time or space, form or substance. It's just simply as is in its own likeness. It's an absolute. It doesn't need any arc or development. So that's why
Right.
I laugh when they say be a better version of yourself, to be this version of yourself, or to
Yeah.
improve or whatever like that. I don't really have to improve on anything. I'm already here.
Mm. Mm. Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it too, because I used to just get on them about not being the best version of yourself because being the best version of yourself, what if your best ain't good enough? I don't want to feel like I've peaked or I'm at my prime. I feel like I am what I am. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So even beyond even improving to be a better version of yourself, as you just highlighted when you are what you are, you just are, like
Hmm.
no improvement and no sense of feeling like you're at a point of perfection. Like I wouldn't want to know what my life is like once I reach the point of this idea of perfection. It's like looking at the end of the railroad track. You want to keep going. You don't want to just stop and be like, oh, this is it.
Absolutely. I don't even look at my old videos anymore. I just drop it and just keep moving. Like, look, I'm not even going back. Look, I'm on a mission. It's just like
Right.
it's just like this. When people talk about the improvement aspect, but really what you should be at a space is self actualization, because the best version of yourself is the fully actualized version of yourself. Is when you strip yourself
Right.
from all the lies and all the BS that's basically been told to you and been injected by you, the things that's been reinforced and pushed out to you as far as who you should be.
Right. That's so true. And so, I've been even touching more on this artificial intelligence. I mean, I know you probably know about cyborgs, androids, humanoids, and then the last aspect, which is new, is transhuman. Um, I could break it down to a lot of people probably in a video or something, but the transhuman part is, well, I always felt the humanoid aspect of all this was the holy grail. Basically, one wants to be born with artificial intelligence with them. Once again, not divinity. People are trying to make up for the lack of divinity. They're trying to make up for this notion of knowing that they're not a god amongst men.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to be born with these nanobites inside of them. But
Mm-hmm.
the transhuman aspect is how people want to change things about them now. Of course, like you think of like like just being a cyborg, you have to do things mechanically. But like the humanoid aspect, no, the transhuman part is more on the microscopic. It's like the microscopic version of being a cyborg. But yeah, just getting back to what we're saying, we're seeing that some people don't have that deeper spiritual realm. So they're thinking on the lines of microchips in their mind, because they don't have this in them to be even a better version, or just like you said, just be who you are. They don't really have that in them spiritually, naturally, nor genetically.
That comes from running from yourself. The best piece of information I think someone put out this year is that guys are tricking on women and when they can look in the mirror for free. I think no top chakra
See,
said that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You shouldn't have to put forth any effort. I mean, it should be like something that flows like water, and then that's really the key is being in that God complex. I think kind of like some of the things that I told you about earlier. I can't say everything online here on YouTube, but just more so like tapping into this real idea of male nature, which is godly, versus female nature that is ungodly. But most guys never truly tap into they never truly tap into their male nature. So therefore, they'll never be a god amongst men.
Exactly. They're not really tapped into that, to that I factor. Remember when Jesus said, tell them that I am sent you, that internal I, that Christos, that black dot. They're running from the God aspect of themselves, you know, the internal I.
Oh yeah, and that's the deep part. And some boys that grow up, they be blinded from who they are. They might have like a certain genetic about them that has survived, but he can have a mother that could stifle his growth. Yeah, he'll have a mother that can stifle his growth. He'll even have a father who's probably underdeveloped. His father's a simp.
Oh yeah.
He'll be like, boy, who you are thinking you believe you think you got some superpowers? Who you think you are? One of the X-Men? You better, boy, put that down before I give you a whooping. And it's like, yo, like your son has tapped in and you obviously haven't. And it's sad that you can't teach your son how to be like supernatural, superhuman, because you don't even have it in you. You
Hmm.
know.
And the funny thing is, innately, he sees it. He just can't communicate it. See, the father, well, actually the dad, he innately sees the God in his son and is jealous and envious because he was too cowardly
Mm.
and too lazy to basically find it for himself. So he tried to basically dim the light in his son.
You know what? I don't mind sharing this. Maybe it might be too much for some folk, but not too much. I grew up around Christians and things like that, and like I said, no disrespect to somebody that's a Christian, but I grew up in like I think when I was in my 20s, I got around my uncle, and he was into like the Christian outreach. But the thing he did not like about me is kind of like similar to you, like the way you were with certain churches, they would kick you out. And
Yep.
so, yeah. So, like in my case, I started to learn more about the Native American side of me and stuff. And this was really at the time when Black folks was hush hush, and they didn't even know how that tied in with being Hebrew, So, but I knew there was something there. I knew I had to learn it, and I started like grow more spiritually. I could feel like just something there before I even knew what I knew now. I just knew something was there, and like my uncle would tell me like, "You into that witchcraft? You witchcraft." I'm gonna
Hmm.
have to. He went and got a knife, man.
Damn.
And yeah, and I was like, yo, like after that, I left, man. I ain't report him or nothing, because I'm straight like, uh, I hate calling the police because I don't even like the police. Most of
Hmm.
them ain't good. So I
Hmm.
just was like, I'm just gonna leave your house, bro. I packed all my stuff, man. I ain't looked back. I'm like, look, you ain't finna accuse me of witchcraft just because I know I have a deeper unction to myself. You're not gonna. Mm,
Absolutely, but that's the thing when we travel the sands, right? We travel the burning sands, going through the 360. We go through all the processes. I came up in that Christian philosophy as well, then stumbled across Islam, then the Nation of Islam, then the Moorish Temple. Um, Later on, the Israelite uh, piece it came to me in the middle of those travels. But the thing that really helped me to pinpoint everything together is because I'm Bayesian, family derives from Barbados, and as the tribe of Benjamin. So that really helped me to tap into that. Then the clairvoyance aspect kicked in. So it was beyond what I would say the lay people were really showing me, because I was getting stronger revelations. Like I'm seeing things, I'm seeing spirits, I'm seeing things before they're really even happening. It was scaring me. You know, but I kind of had to grow and mature and develop into that. You know, are you there, brother?
oh, my bad, my bad. I had mute. I had the mic on mute. My bad.
That's all good.
But yeah, my thing is that yeah, I've grown a lot from a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like just my travels and things, and and this is a side note. Men travel, but I always believe like women actually they more so nest versus the men travels, the woman is the one that makes the nest. Because it seems when you see these females that aren't women that travel, they learn a lot of different things, but they become less submissive. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because they don't take your word for it. They have many other words because
Hmm.
they've been to many different places. You know,
It's the world thing. Now, what is that? Is the anima? Which one is the feminine principle of the anima?
all out of the for the man or for the woman.
For the for the man,
For the man, it's the anima.
the anima. Okay, so I'm gonna utilize that and the feminine principle. Remember, I said the first woman, right? Is that you have to break is your mind, and then to develop that, and then cultivate
Yeah,
that from the Proverbs 8 woman, the
yeah,
whore, into the Proverbs 31 woman. See, once you
right.
basically sell that, your bottom woman is not the anatomical woman. It's your new mind. And once you basically have gotten your new mind, which really is your old mind, your original mind, is to guide you, right? The woman
Yeah.
basically has to be identical twins. Her behavior, her attitude, her way of life has to be identical to your mind.
Yep.
You know how your mind treats you, she should be the reflection of how your mind treats you. Now, if you look
Yep.
at how does a woman, right, know you, right? How do you basically get into her mind and heart? Well, the only way that she can do that, the only way she can intellectually grasp who you are, right, is to experience you, to live you, and to express you, and to see yourself manifested in her, to become the equivalent.
Yep. Yep. It's about her being symbiotic, because she's supposed to be your rib, the womb of a man. So she has to be symbiotic.
Damn.
You know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't get that. Like the whole idea of being. That's why I really believe in this female. I believe in this female woman logic so much at my channel because a woman is there's a deeper notion of what a woman really is. Um, she's supposed to be that connected, or at least that much of a part of you that uh, identical, like you said, like a parrot. She's supposed to be like a parrot. You say something, she repeats it. You know, um, and it's just more or less. And it's obviously based on the benefit that she sees upon being gravitated to you. You got a lot of folk who could be haters who they'll be ignorant, make it seem like you're just trying to make people do something. It's like no, 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 no. Gravitation
Mm-hmm. Right.
it's not a force, it's an attraction. See, I think when they say gravitational force, I think that's an oxymoron. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's an oxymoron.
Absolutely. It's like I would say it's almost like that gravitational pull. Even though people they say that they hate you outwardly, but somehow they're attracted to you. They're studying you. They can
Yep.
sit there and say that they don't like you, but somehow they're trying to imitate you. Because why? Because you're giving them an image of success. An image of success is the image of God right in front of them.
Yep. Looks like JP. What's up, JP?
What's going on, broski?
Got a new question here. He said, I'm new to Christianity, and you could say I am a Gentile according to the Bible. Can Gentiles become Hebrew, or is that something that's in the blood? That's a good question. Now, here's a two-part thing to that. You get grafted into Hebrew. Not that you actually become a Hebrew. You would still be a Gentile, but you become a Gentile that's grafted into Hebrew. So as you can see, there's an action with that. There's a place of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much what that is. Hopefully that answers your question.
And it's more effective because that's the spiritual blood versus the natural physical blood, the spiritual blood. See, eventually that's what they're trying to do is grab the originals, right?
Yep.
It's basically us and get us into alignment to basically get into that spirit, because it says, my people that are called by my name, shall humble
Yep.
themselves, seek my face, then I will heal their land. See, well, all the chaos is going on within within our community, within our environment, right? It's within our land because, our land is, it's chaotic.
Yep.
Our land is not healed. So you're basically seeing the behaviors of people, based on their land not being healed because they're not seeking God. They're not seeking the face
Right.
of God to face themselves. And this is what
Right.
happens.
Yeah, and it's like that's what gets me about even with the Native American ancestors, if you will. Like a lot of them that still have that connection to Hebrew, they don't like blood quantum. That was by the government. They was like, no, it's not about the blood. It's about your heart. It's about your spirit. That's what makes you connected to us. It's in your heart and spirit. And so that's the same thing about what Hebrew represented. And a lot of people don't know that, but like even with when the first interpreters came over to these shores, they needed a Hebrew interpreter. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, I like to say, Briscoe, to answer this question, uh, the woman is actually the help meet. You know, she's the help. You know, she's there to help meet his vision, to help meet his mission, to help meet, you know, the no, I'm not even going to add that. Just say that we'll just leave it at that. To help meet the
Yeah.
vision and the mission.
Well, basically, like if in corporate terms, she would be the assistant versus the secretary. She'd be more of the assistant. So that's why, even with what you just said, it's bigger than just the vision. It's like she's just there for the journey. She will assist you on the journey that you're taking, you know. So some people do make it kind of this thing where she supports you as you're getting things done, like some type of job or some business. But no, it's literally your journey. And she assists you in your journey, you know. So yeah, but I mean, we can that'd be another live stream if we talk about just that alone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, pretty much. There's a lot to unpack with that. That's why I was like,
Yes.
that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave it at two right here. I mean, just give you the clear, concise, condensed version. Because then going further into that, that's going to basically be another like 2 hour discussion.
Pretty much. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's up in the building. I see you, Kimberly Blue, Charlotte Swan, Brown Do Life, of course, UJP. Good to
Indeed.
see you up in the building as well. Devil's Reject. Yes,
Indeed.
indeed. A God Amongst Men is definitely someone that could have been a Devil's Reject. So that's what's up. Oh, you
Absolutely.
said, what did he say? Oh, the Devil's Reject say something? Let me try to scroll. I think he did. I may have missed it. I want to try to get a lot of people's let me see something. See if anybody has something else to say. Okay, no, cool. Okay, we good. We good. But yeah, man, it's so much to unpack, like with just overall what we've talked about up to this point. And there hasn't been too many rebuttals since our previous live streams of these sorts. So I definitely know that we're on to something.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I wasn't even expecting that at all. That's that you can't. There's nothing matching this.
No,
I'm not even trying to be. I'm not even trying to be like pompous about it. But like seriously though, it's nothing's really touching this.
no. And see, as it was written, like humans, here's another thing, because sometimes I do touch on the idea of what human is. Like, as it is written, humans were made a step above the angels. But obviously, humans at this point, they've become lower than demons. See, once again, step above the angels initially, but now well below the demons. You below the demons. Most humans are. So I believe this idea of God amongst men was made to fix some of this, to fix a lot of things about humanity. That's why God amongst men had to exist. You
Mm-hmm.
know, these angelic, these godly creatures, they had to be brought forth into society, just literally for the aspect of fixing humanity. So, depending on who they are, like obviously us, we're messengers, we're teachers.
Mm-hmm.
There's different things like that, different types of people that were made to help fix humanity.
Absolutely. You fix humanity by first pulling yourself up in the grave, and you pull yourself up in the grave from being honorable in a sense. And the key word, and people have their own definition of integrity, but the real version of integrity is something like this. Your integrity is based on who you are when nobody's looking.
Right.
You know.
That's so true. I mean, in a nutshell, like, that's really like you think about a lot of us, a lot of people, you, their character is just right before us.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's nothing authentic about most people out here
Mm-hmm.
for the most part.
Mm-hmm. It's one thing that I can say is that you're not going to find anyone out here that said that I've ever snaked them, I've ever ratted on them, I've ever taken more than what was necessary. I've never dirty macked them. I never talked behind their back. I didn't bite my tongue, and I didn't back down from anything. That's honorable manhood right there. That's rare.
Yeah,
Or,
that definitely is very rare. And that's kind of like, I look back upon myself, and even though, I'm always a certain way, as far as an oddity.
mhm.
Yeah, my character has never been one that a person can say is contrary. That's the
Mm,
word I'm thinking about, contrary. So, I try my best to always be a certain way, but it just comes natural. It's not like I'm putting on a front to impress people or things like that. It's just me as a whole. But it's like when I see a need, I go take care of that need. I never really think too much about myself. I just think this needs to be done, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. You do it because you're tapping into the God you, and it's behavior, awareness, and behavior. You know, this is what separates you. This is what separates you not only just from the boys, from the men, but from the God, from the man. Behavior. Once
Facts.
and that behavior, how that behavior transforms is the belief. See, it's your belief and your perspective that transforms you. And what does the Bible always talk about? The Bible is really, it's really a psychology book. It's about because it talks about transforming your mind, renewing your mind. There's over 33 counts in Scripture basically telling you that, right? So it's all about renewing of your mind. Which really, it's not. It's stripping away of this world, right? Of this worldly perspective is what this world has been telling you who you are, right? Because the world's been telling you what to believe, and going back to the original idea of yourself. And then once you see that, right, the vision, the sight, it's going to change your behavior, and then you're going to move right into it, and then you're going to fall right into your destiny, actually your destination.
Facts. Facts. That's true. Y'all have to there we go. Yeah, a little slight glitch there, but we back in the building. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking for my previous there was some previous quotes from the last live stream that I wanted to touch upon. Um and I said I was gonna get to them on the next live stream. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm not sure if this is the right ones, but we could probably graft this in with what we've been talking about lately. Um,
Why not?
so yeah, why not? We'll just make it work. That's what we do. We're organic. So,
Indeed,
uh,
indeed.
well, I remember there was a quote by Brown Do Life from the previous live stream, and it just talked about pretty much how Brown Do Life said the content creators are finished. Very few dating coaches are real. And I think about that with all this that we're talking about tonight. I don't think me and you have ever desired to be like a dating coach,
No.
you know.
I could tell you for one of the many reasons because they're basically teaching you how to basically tap dance for pussy, pretty much. You go out and date and do all this other stuff. I'm not I'm not trying to sell you me. That's what the whole dating aspect is. I'm trying to sell you me so I can have sex with you. Whereas so I'm actually doing all the work. See, when you're a god amongst men, you have a no sweat equity policy. You know what the no sweat equity policy is? You don't
Mm,
you don't sweat for them, you don't sweat on them, and you don't sweat by them.
right. That's true. That is
See,
so true.
and it's not so much me trying to basically date her to figure her out. She needs to basically figure who I am. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what I'm about. figure out what I'm
Yeah.
into and get into what I'm into. I'm not dating her. I'm not dealing with her. The last woman I've dealt with was my mother, and she was changing my Pampers, and she had to feed me, and I needed her. I had to deal with her. Since then I could change my own drawers and feed myself. Okay.
Facts. And to me, the whole idea of dating is so worldly. And I'm not saying this from a religious standpoint, but what I'm saying is like when you do see yourself as distinct amongst folk, you don't want to be like everybody else. So, getting the feminine gender around me, she's just gonna, like you said, just have this different experience. So, versus a date, I'm trying to, actually bring out things in her that nobody else has brought out before, whether via conversation. I can say intimacy, what I'm saying, versus sex right away, but nevertheless, just things that's never been brought out in her before. That's kind of what I want to do. And so, a lot of times when I do be seeing a lot of guys and they talk about dating, to me, I'm just like, look, last time I checked, because I think I've said this before, just to define dating, just a general definition, a general definition, it would be like you're having fun with someone that you like. But if you further break that down, it's really just you celebrating with an individual that you like. Y'all got something to celebrate. But what are we celebrating?
Exactly. Exactly. You when you're strangers. That video you had of strangers. How do you celebrate your strangers and stuff like that? Why would I eat with someone I don't even know? See, the thing is, once we've gotten to know each other and everything like that, and then yeah, I can see us doing things like that. Then we have a reason to celebrate. Then we have a reason to enjoy ourselves. I can't enjoy my time around a stranger I've never met, and we're this whole thing where these guys get caught up where they like the girl, right? Because they're so caught up in the aesthetics. They're so into the girl, right? They think they're on this date, they're breaking bread. She's not really interested in him. She's interested in a meal because she only has $4.39 in her account.
See, exactly, man. And I immediately got a dislike for that video about we're dating strangers. Immediately got a dislike. Mm-hmm. I mean, just let's think about it on the esoteric level. Mm-hmm. How you know if this person's a demon or not? But you're going to take them out to eat. You might see them pull out that snake tongue, you know what I'm saying? That forked tongue while you're eating. Then you'll be like, oh, I had all this planned with this person tonight, but I did not know this much about this person. Like, but this is what people are sold on.
Exactly. Exactly. Shout out to Spizzy. What's going on, broski? What's going on, Top? What's going on, broski? In the chat.
What's good, Type? What's good, Spizzy? What's good, Venom?
Oh, Venom in the building. What's up, Venom? What's up?
Yeah, speaking of Venom and the snake, because I just brought up both. You said Devil's Reject. Ice, the venom of a snake is deadly and healing. Wow. Yeah. Anti-venom. Yeah. Or sometimes even the venom itself. Yes, sometimes venom is used for healing,
Oh, yeah. So it's got to bring death to you for the rebirth.
Yeah. Yeah. Man.
I got one. One. It just hit me. Bro. Remember when St. Paul was bitten by the snake and the other Israelites removed themselves from him?
Yeah.
And then they thought he was going to die. He was wobbling. Yeah, he died. He was by that fire, right?
Yeah.
Then that rebirth, what does that fire represent?
Ooh. Yes. Yes. See? So that tells you everything, man, right there. Right there in a nutshell. Oh, man. But that's the thing. All these things that could kill you also can heal you. It depends. So this is all about how you deal with it or how you apply those things in your life.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah, another thing that Brown Do Life brought up, he said it's the mainstream media and brainwashing that made relations between men and women difficult. Now, my thing is, as a God amongst men, you really ain't associated with the mainstream media
Mm-hmm.
at all. I mean, just even the idea that we're on a mainstream platform right now, but our message isn't mainstream.
Mm-mm.
See, that's what makes the God amongst men. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're not actually trying to be mainstream, no matter where you go, no matter where you be, or even with what you say.
Exactly. We're of the mainstream. We're just not in the mainstream. We're, you know,
Mm,
we're of the
mm,
world.
yeah.
You know,
Woo.
we're hidden in plain sight. You know, those that have stumbled across this, you know, were meant to stumble across this because the truth is basically in them. We're just reminding them. You know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I mean, this is really like oh, you saw that you said that was a classic. You talking about that We're Dating Strangers video, Devil's Reject? Which what was the classic that you was talking about, Devil's Reject? Yeah.
You gotta say
And
which
then
one
I
at
got
this point.
right.
Which
Yeah,
one did you?
overall, like
Which
we've
one did
been
you? No, I'm talking about you. Like you go down your catalog already, man. It's heavy.
yeah, that's true. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Shoot, we yeah, man. I definitely appreciate that because I say we a lot because I know we kind of like
Mm-hmm.
we've been cooking it up, man. But I
Definitely,
definitely appreciate that individualistically, man.
no
So
problem,
man. I got two more quotes that I think came from a previous live stream. I don't know what live stream it was. It was another classic,
Yes.
but man. But Cool Jen, he said, I wish I could highlight this stuff, but I'm on a different device right now. So that's why I was in and out earlier. And, I had that mute earlier. But anyway, we good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool Jen, he said, every single day they try to destroy our manhood. Got to fight for it every day to keep it. But see, to me, like kind of like what we're talking about right now, manhood is, yes, it's cool, but it's surface level. However, if we want to take manhood to a different level, that
Mm-hmm.
means you have to become a God amongst men.
Exactly. Let them kill my manhood. I'm walking in the godhood. You got
Mm,
you got to kill
talk
your
to him.
manhood so you can tap into your godhood. You can't kill that. It's forever.
Talk to him. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
In 3 days, I'll
become that
raise this kingdom.
immortal.
In 3 days, I'll raise this kingdom. Think of, what in 3 days I'll destroy this kingdom and build it back up. Right? That's what he said, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
these mortals were looking at you like you're crazy. What the fuck do you mean? Okay, watch.
man.
Let you kill. Okay, let you kill that. Right? I'll let you kill the manhood so the godhood can be finally birthed. Let you kill the masculinity so the divinity can rise above that.
Woo, man, hey, you know what? Hey, I smell the oven coming back on, man. I smell the oven coming back on, man. Hey, because I got something to add to that. Now, before I do, looks like Devil's Reject was talking about that Stranger video. I appreciate that, fam. I didn't even know you peeped that, but I'm thanks for letting me know that. I'm really humble. I'm very humbled about that because I didn't know how that video was gonna go. I just was like, some just said, get right to the point with dating. Just get right to the point. So, but here's what I'm trying to get at though. And I guess it sort of ties in with dating, and it sort of ties in also with Topcast, with what you're talking about with this idea of semen retention. I've been peeping you, fam. Now, and this also ties in what I'm about to say with what you say also, Ice, with being more or less accessible. Don't make it so easy for one to access you. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel some type of way if I just lay up with a female. But knowing that I'm a God amongst men, I should know that this female can't handle my spirit like that. I shouldn't let her see me in this certain form.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
like my true glory, my true that glow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's reserved for only a woman that's symbiotic to me,
Exactly.
not no female.
Exactly. And you know that's basically that special cloth right there. You know, she would have to be like the Mary Magdalene, chasing after that garment. You know, to basically get that issue in her blood healed. You know, it's like
Mm.
see the thing is like this. You know, when you look at it like this, you know, we talk to God all the time, right? You know, we pray to him, we talk to him. He's like, yeah, when does he talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's rarely that he does. You're right. Um, you know, how often do you get to touch God? You know, you get to feel God. So it should be the same thing. If we're basically created and made in His image, you know, that access should be at the same. You got to work for that access. You know, you shouldn't just be laying down with women just to be laying down with women because you're horny or whatever like that. You need to control your sexual impulses. See, that's when you basically become a god amongst men. When you can when you don't act on your worst impulses. You know, that's what it's called responsibility. Your ability to respond to what's in front of you. Okay, this is basically is going to determine, you know, the strength and the content level of your character and your immortal being. To really tap into the immortal you can't be given into the same pleasures that that the that the creatures of this earth are given to.
Who talk to him? Talk to him. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you notice one thing none of us has ever done in our live stream?
What's that?
We never said king or
No,
talk like the king. We never say king
past that.
past that.
Past
Mm,
alpha, past all that.
past all that.
No
Just
knocking.
saying. No knock. No
Congratulations.
knock.
Hey, look, that's awesome. You are royal within, you know, the mortal state, the human state, right? Congratulations. You know, but we're gods, you know. And I'm not saying like me and other Ray J are not only gods, you're gods too. We're just reminding you that. You know, once we bring that to your remembrance, you gotta walk in that.
That's it. That's it. Because that's all Morpheus did with Neo. He had it in him already. Morpheus was just trying to get him to see that. It was already there. It was already there. He's just like, it's up to you if you want this. It's up to you to believe in it. I can only tell you so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be up to you from there. And then you can see what I mean. You'll be able to move how I move. Matter of fact, you're going to be able to move better than me. You're like the more improved version of me, if you will. But well, what did he say? Something like that. Like when Neo asked Morpheus, so you mean to tell me that one day I'll be able to dodge bullets? And then Morpheus said, once you truly know who you are, you won't even have to dodge bullets.
Damn. Shit. Whew.
That part.
That
That
hit.
part.
That hit. That hit. So why I would say, because maybe this question will answer the question that some of the folks in the audience were curious to ask. Why was Neo slow to believe that he was who he was?
Man, that was a good question. I think that he was scared, man. He was comfortable,
Mm,
but he knew that things weren't right because he was always going up against society. But
mm-hmm,
he knew that he had to take that step. He just didn't know what it was. He was scared.
mm,
It could have meant his life.
mm,
A lot of us know that in us, but we don't want to take that step for that reason.
mm. See, the thing is, it goes right back to that fear. Where fear is God. That's when you become these mortal beings, right? Fear is God. See, when I talk about being fearless, is not necessarily being fearless, but just fearing less. It means doing things afraid. Okay, you can be scared, but you still got to move forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Shamgar when he slayed the 1,400 Philistines with one javelin stick, one farmer stick. How was he able to do that?
Right. He just believed regardless of his fear. He just believed.
Mm.
It's like Will Smith, he said something really dope not too long ago. He said, if you can't get over your fears, just do it scared. Just do it afraid. Like no matter what the challenge is in front of you. If you can't just get over your fear for that thing, fight it while afraid. Just fight it anyway.
Yep. Because the challenge in front of you is not really the challenge. You're the challenge. That's just in front of you.
Whew. Hey, they didn't get that. I got what you just said. They didn't get that.
Mm-hmm. See, you have to slay Goliath to basically see the Goliath in you. It was actually bigger than that Goliath outside of you. It's like greater is he that is in me than is of the world.
That means not only greater in size, but greater in potential, greater in power,
Mm-hmm.
greater in presence, greater in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. You know, so put this in your thought. Put this in your spirit. Do not put any more limitations on anything that you do from here on out. This is going to be a new 90-day transformation. No more limitations.
Man, you know what? Without even saying much, we sort of we sort of gave a little bit of the key word, because I know there were certain things we weren't going to say, but at least this kind of gives people a start. Because I think what makes us stand out versus others is that we're not out here just complaining about everything. We have a lot of insight. We're teachers, so we're trying to give you something to learn and actually apply it to your life. So, like you just said, like the key word there is just that. What did you say? Like the perseverance, or what was that you just said?
Oh, about the challenge or about the fear
Yeah,
less?
yeah,
The challenge, you think that that's actually a challenge in front of you, but you're actually the challenge. You might think that that's difficulty in front of you, but you're the difficulty. That's just the resistance. You know, you're much more powerful than the resistance. You're much more powerful than, your circumstances. You're much more powerful than what you think is wrong with you or what you think is going wrong in your life. Because thinking comes from not knowing. You got to get into that space of knowing. God knows. God does not think. Hmm?
that's it. That's it. And it's like when he said, "His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts." You have to think outside of yourself to know that you're greater than even what you thought you was. You know, you have to
Think,
literally put your mind somewhere else.
hmm Thinking outside of your flesh because your flesh is limited. You know,
Yeah,
your flesh is your fallen state, it's your decaying state. You know, you're thinking out of your fallen being instead of your risen.
exactly. Like Topcast said, there is no spoon. You got to get to that point how you can move a certain way. You really don't limit yourself in life. You really don't have a limit. But I'm trying to think. There's something to this word limit. Now that I'm starting to think about it, um, limit is just basically the backwards word for time without the e at the end. In some ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And
So, oh, go ahead.
no, sorry, I mean to cut you off because I was about to say, what did I say earlier about God? God is not time or space.
Mm,
That's what did it say that?
see, exactly, man. So, limit literally tries to hold back time. it tries to hold back space. Like the word limit itself, um, it holds back a lot, you know. But at the same time, at the same time, you know, there's this thing amongst you, as far as if there's any limit, more or less, it's not you, it's the things like it's not even, you know, like you said, it doesn't really go back to this, like when you have to control yourself, all that. No, that's, I don't think that's you limiting yourself. That's you killing yourself. You know, like not like suicide, of course, you know, disclaimer, but a lot of you has to die. You know, you have to like kill the old you. You know, you have to, that doppelganger, that person in the mirror. You have to really, to be a god amongst men, you have to literally kill the man in you. You know, you have to be a god amongst your own man. And then that can help you even be a god amongst men as a whole around you. You know, you'll start to move a certain way. And I guess I got testimonies to this. Like, there's been many times where I've tapped in to this individual within myself, where there was no spoon, where there was no limitation. And there's things that happened in my life that was like unexplainable, like that normally wouldn't have happened type of situation, you know?
Mm. And the key thing that you basically just said, there's a lot of key things you said, but one of the things that really sparked my mind was, killing that man in you, right? So what is killing that man? And what are the I would say I would say the lay people, I would say, what do they say in the nation? They says, stay on your square, to be on your square, right? So
Yeah.
when you break that axis apart, right, it's basically a cross. So you're basically
Mm.
putting yourself on the cross,
Yes.
and you're slaying, that fall inside of you, and you're really walking into that risen.
Man. Man. And so that really speaks volumes, because it even goes back to kind of what I said earlier about when you lay up with a female, you know, and so this typical female that's not a real woman, I feel less of a man. I feel less of a godly or angelic man, if you will, to just uh, take the man out. Let's just say being, I feel less of a godly or angelic being when I lay up with
The
some,
female.
yeah, when she's a demon type, I feel less than,
Hmm.
like you don't feel risen
Absolutely.
in that situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's fallen, she's dead. It's like when Samson was digging out of that carcass. That's essentially what the female really is. If you look at her, she's lazy, she's controlling, she's violent, verbally, physically. She's ratchet. She's dysfunctional. She's emotionally unstable, emotionally unstoppable. She's all over the place. She has no temperance. She has no class. She always wants attention. She's self-destructive. And she's a masochist. When you
Yeah.
basically see this behavior, this ratchet behavior, right? As I said, they're the nigger gods of America. When you have this right in front of you, you don't want to dwell with that. See, the only thing worse than an ain't shit bitch is the guy that's entertaining her in any shape, form, or fashion. I even on this YouTube space, I'm not even entertaining that shit. You can mention my name all you want on your channel, because guess what? That's none of my business.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And let's see, Venom, he said balance and grinding are more powerful. Balance and grounding are more powerful than striking or action. Yeah, just taking a stand. Sometimes that's more powerful. You have a person throw blows at you all day until they get tired, and you still just standing there like,
Hmm.
okay, that's all you got?
Now that's the difference between making you a. That's the difference between a conqueror and someone that's more than a conqueror. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
that part.
ooh.
More than a conqueror. Yes, indeed.
You can
Let's,
look at the obstacle and realize that that you're the obstacle to that obstacle, and it just falls
mm,
by the wayside. Let's go right back to that 360. Everything is back 360 circular motion. Boom. You know.
See, let's see what Spizzy said. Speaking on a 360. Sometimes you gotta die to live. Sometimes you gotta live. Sometimes to live you gotta die. You said Templar dropped that. I believe you talking about maybe
Think,
Thinking Man's
yes,
Templar.
yeah, yes, indeed, yes, indeed.
But yeah, that's that 360 though. That's
Mm-hmm.
that 360 right there too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a heavy quote. Let me look at that again.
Oh, okay, gotcha. There you go. Yeah, definitely got that 360 effect.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's a rebirthing thing. It's just like
Yeah.
with the Tesla, the process, right? Raw
Are you talking
energy.
about the magnets? Talking about magnets.
The 369. Now you break this down, even when you break down the black cat, right? It actually is not evil. It actually has ultralight vision. That's what it was. That's the penile, right? Penile
Yeah.
gland. It can see things. It can basically ward off evil spirits, right? So people think that the
Yeah.
cat, the black cat is, whatever. They used to use it in Egyptian times to scare off the rodents, right? The
Right.
rodents, the fleas, you know, the rats,
Hmm.
the snakes, and everything like that. You look at the was it 369, right? Cat has 9 lives. 3 years, they stay. After was it another three, they stray, and then after that, they stay. 369.
See, and I think about the magnetic poles too. Like then that's why Tesla was so big on a lot of the magnetisms, just based on every time the magnet spins, it creates a charge. It creates whether the thermal heat or even a magnetic pulse. It's based on that full 360 spin of a magnetic core. So he
Mm-hmm.
was really big on them numbers, uh,
Mm-hmm.
especially from the realm of magnetism. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, this is all real deep, man. So this goes back to this magneto aspect
Mm-hmm.
you know so I guess just with what Busy said, another part of what energizing your magneto
Mm-hmm.
is that live and die process you got to deal with every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You have to self-sacrifice, not sacrifice. You sacrifice for others, when it's necessary. But I'm talking about sacrifice, certain things within yourself is a certain discipline. You see, it comes down to discipline and commitment, and then sacrifice. It's just like if you plan on doing certain things, right? Setting your day. I get up an hour earlier, right? Before I'm supposed to, before I'm supposed to do anything, just planning out my day, writing stuff down, writing out what I had to take care of, and making sure I take care of those goals little by little. That's how you build the success. Successful people have rituals.
Exactly. I mean, things that you do now versus what you used to do. You're switching up, you're doing a new thing. You're becoming a new person because of that, just because you're doing something now that you didn't do before. So that required a new person to do that.
Absolutely. Top basically said that the other day. He said he wakes up, he eats the same thing every day. For breakfast, was it? I don't know if I'm correct. It's black coffee, boiled egg, toast. Eat that every day. That's just
Mm,
discipline. That's discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you don't
yeah,
understand how thorough that really is, man. You're like,
yeah,
it's just that discipline because you're building yourself up to basically you're training yourself like an Olympian. How they said, I don't know if it was in the Book of Galatians. You're training yourself. You train your body. You train you. Your body is the kingdom of God. You're training you like an Olympian. You know. See, once you train yourself to think and believe, behave, and move a certain way, you're not going to basically have, things around you that shouldn't be around you. You're not going to be able to entertain a female. A female is going to see you from a distance. She's going to see those ultra light rays and remove herself from that.
Yep. Yep. She literally can't stand the rays.
Mm-hmm.
She can't stand you. Like it's not even that she can't stand you. She can't stand the uh the rays that's coming out of you, though, that magnetism. She can't. It's like in a radioactive room. She can't stand it,
Mm-hmm.
because she's
Yeah.
not built for it. You got to be built for it, or you got to wear the right suit in order to be in a room like that, or to be
Mm-hmm.
around something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in order to be built for it, you got to be killed for it. Just like what St. Paul said. Just like what actually Professor Mixow pointed that out. Shout out to him. He basically said, what St. Paul said, you have to first deny yourself. It's the same thing with Yehuda said. You got to deny yourself. Pick up your cross and walk with me. That means that woman basically has to deny whatever she thought it was to walk into what it really is in order to get with me.
Oh
Is get with me.
yeah. And then you think about it, even like just from the standpoint of what I just brought up about the radioactive part. In order to be built for things, things had to be killed for it. Lab rats, guinea pigs.
Mm-hmm.
People put their lives on the line, to build these suits to withstand radiation.
Mm-hmm.
People had to sacrifice themselves to build the final product of a suit that can endure that much
Mm-hmm.
radiation.
Absolutely. Oh, he said something else that was strong. He said he only eats one meal a day.
Oh yeah, that intermittent fasting. Yeah. Sometimes I call it the wolf diet because wolves pretty much eat like that too. They only eat once a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yup. That's the key. That way you can fast, pour out all that mucus,
Mm-hmm.
stop bloating, constipation, all that, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's key.
Discipline.
Man, there a lot of discipline. I mean, just from that simple standpoint. I mean, yeah, talking about what we're talking about tonight with a God amongst men, who has really changed their diet to where you're not eating like the rest of the world? You can endure. You don't feel like you got to complain about being hungry or thirsty all the time.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times you just don't have enough water.
Hmm.
Enough water in your diet. It's not necessarily food. You just don't have enough water. See, that simple thing, you might think that that's simple, but see, that area right there, if you can discipline your dietary intake, you don't know how much power you basically have access to. Because you'll look at what
Right.
else. If I can discipline my stomach, what else can I discipline? You know what I'm saying? Because then guess what? You have dick discipline. Hmm? You
Yeah.
have you have
Uh,
discipline of your mind.
yeah. Discipline of your mind, all of that. And it just to where you actually start to build more oxygen in your mind upon doing a lot of those things. Your brain can actually breathe. A
Hmm.
lot of people's brain actually don't breathe.
Hmm.
Man, yeah, that's true. Top losing weight. Yep, that's
Now,
true.
think about losing weight. You're losing what does not belong to you. The average
Facts.
human being has about, I would say, 9 to 15 pounds of shit in their stomach that they haven't pushed out.
Right.
You know,
Yep. Most of us have a sit down job.
hmm
That's another problem. So,
exactly. And if you look at your stomach, right, your stomach is your second brain. If you want to know the health, someone look at their stomach. That's when you look at, these females. They basically have they have these bellies, right? They have no kids, but they have these bellies. So if they have a bunch of little nappy head kids, that's another conversation. But then they have, this finger paint in their face. Then they have these lace front, wigs and shit. So it's like, damn, what are we doing here? Are we
right,
interviewing for a McDonald's commercial? I mean, I don't know.
right. One more thing I'm gonna touch upon before we probably just wrap this one up. I think it's one more comment that Cool Gent 87 left from one of our previous live streams, and we can tie this in too with what we were talking about. He said it's rare that a woman has a masculine father in her life. Now, I'm thinking based on what we've been talking about,
Mhm.
and we think about the word masculine, but
Mhm.
is it something beyond that her father should have been?
Absolutely.
masculine. Yeah. See?
But the thing is, he was a slave to the vag. She was a slave to the womb, and that's how he ended up marrying the mom. It's what I think another channel holder said. Like, oh, just because a person is married or whatever like that doesn't mean he was a simp. Yeah, majority of these guys are simps. If you look at what's going on, man, that guy got married because he was slave to the womb. There's nothing wrong with getting married, right? I wouldn't get that state sanction situation. Nothing wrong with getting married, but is everything wrong with you not being a man while you're doing it? There's nothing wrong with having a girlfriend, but is everything wrong you not being a man in the process? You be a man first, right? That's the elementary level. Now, take it beyond, you know, be a god first before you do that. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at that point.
Man. And yeah, I mean, that brings up just another great point because most of these guys, when they don't realize, they say the word fornication, we get it, sex outside of marriage, they didn't really have the intent of having that marriage of her to him as like his rib. We get that. But on a more esoteric level, on a more deeper and esoteric level, you just laid up with a demon. You laid up with someone who don't have the same vibration as you,
Mm-hmm.
so it throws everything off. And so, like, yeah, a daughter grows up with a father still being very low vibrational. He was by no means a god amongst men. So she didn't learn about being godly because her father wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Father was a simp provider. I had ran into it was a young lady. It was actually after I had broken up with my girlfriend, and she thought she was going to get the same spread that she got. But there's a difference between her and her. Is that, she earned what she was able to receive from me. You know,
Mm,
she contributed a lot. What she pays versus what she costs. It's just and she had a bad judgment call. In a moment, and I had to fire her. That's it. It happens. So she
uh-huh.
basically thought she was going to basically come in and get the same rollout. Like, no, I had to explain to her, no. What
Right.
makes you think that you deserve that? Are you really this delusional? This is an
Right.
earning. This is an earn and keep system. You will not be on a maximum contract. I'm not rolling out the red carpet for you. You're really not even a 10-day contract. You're on a 10-minute contract. Means you can basically get
Right.
on my fucking nerves for the next 10 minutes and you're fired. I'll never talk to you again. This could be the
Right.
last This could be the last conversation. See, when you're a god amongst men, what I'm saying, you have to understand that everyone has to be fighting for the access to get to you. There's no compromising with that. So when you have uncompromised yourself, right? When you're not compromised, you can carry it like that. You know,
Yep.
a motherfucker will sit there. I mean, every once in a while you get someone and say, "Well, who do you think you are?" The question is, who do you think you are asking me this question? And think it comes from not knowing. So you're thinking about why am I saying this? And I'm not in the space of thinking anymore. It's knowing. Get the fuck from me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and I think also like this also from like personal experience, like a lot of people who are asleep, they don't even recognize you. They unless they've been touched by you.
Hmm.
But I can wear like a different suit. Like I can wear a uniform one day and then I can wear my scrubs the next day and people wouldn't recognize me, you know. But it's like people of the world, they recognize each other though. They know exactly who each other looks like. So I just find that kind of interesting because once you actually do speak and they see something different about you based on what you said, that's actually when they start asking you the questions.
Hmm.
So now I think to myself, maybe it wasn't really offense. Maybe it was just the fact that you spoke a different language.
Hmm. See, farm animals know each other because they eat the same shit. Pigs know each other. They're going to eat the same stuff. They wallow in the same stuff, right? But when you come with
Yeah.
something different, it's like, because you done sparked them,
Yep.
you know? I remember these two young ladies were having a conversation. I was at this job, I was working, I hop on a shuttle. They was having this conversation about relationships or whatever like that. I seen the girl, whatever like that. I know the one girl was married, the other one wasn't. She was basically going to a girlfriend. I sparked their brain. I said something. they seen the youth. I look young, but they seen
Right.
the maturity of what I said resonated, and they were thinking about
See.
that. See me in the hallway. Then I had a play coming up that I was in. I had a business card this a long time ago, but I actually did. See, unlike what these people say, oh, create your own business card. I actually was doing some little prepaid legal shit, right? Whatever that
Mm-hmm.
corny shit back in the day. But I actually had my number. It's like, here, come out to the play. You're gonna get a free ticket. Come out, whatever. Woo, woo, woo. So she was like, I noticed you gave me your number. You didn't ask me for mine. And I'm just I'm thinking to myself, why would I ask you?
Right.
What the fuck am I asking you for? What am I poor? Am I a pauper? Am I in lack here? Why am I asking you for anything? Why am I asking for your number? Why am I asking for a date? Why am I asking you for sex? Why am I asking you for a conversation? Why am I asking you for anything, period? Hmm?
Right. Like you need it. Like you need it from them.
Need it or want it. Need it or want it. Okay? This is an
Yeah.
opportunity for you. I couldn't say it. It's back then. It's like before I even knew what I was doing it. Now I can express it. I'm not walking to, hey, can I get your number? Hey, can I get, no, I'm gonna stumble across, the young lady. I'm gonna say certain things. I'm not gonna get in this whole, gamed up, game. Doing all that bullshit. You know, it's just regular conversation. Say a few things. She's gonna like it because I fucking said it, and then we're gonna get the exchange. That's it.
Right. Right. I think that's the diff. I think we could wrap it up here. But like, I think that was the mistake the angels made back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They were too busy trying to be amongst men.
Damn. Yo, that's man. That's probably the saying of the year. That went way. I caught that as soon as you was talking. I caught that, man. That's yo. I probably not even gonna put out a drop for the rest of this week, man. Have you said that? Yo, I like, man. I can't, like, yo, that right there. You don't understand. They don't understand. I caught that. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to hear anything for the whole week. I'm just going to fall back. You really think I'm playing, man? I'm out, man.
I feel you, fam. I feel you. Woo! I feel you. Yes, sir.
That shit like a thunderbolt. Like, damn. Yo, that ain't gonna catch, bro. That is prolific, right there. Yeah, we got into that. I can't, bro. I can't even. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I can't fuck.
Yeah, Bill, he said too much water could be toxic too. Yeah, you got to keep that balance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. But shoot, yeah, we definitely we gonna sign out here, y'all. We definitely got some more on the way. So stay tuned. So make sure you subscribe to ICE. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you subscribe to me as well. Subscribe to the other guys in the chat. Subscribe to the Top Cast. He's got a drop. I don't know what drop you're talking about. Maybe were you talking about the fasting part or he make sure you subscribe to Top's channel. Make sure you subscribe to Venom. Venom talks about a lot of holistic things and exercising. But we're gonna be out of here, y'all.
Indeed. Blessings, y'all.
Much blessings to y'all.